The Arizona Cardinals travel to Seattle to face their division rival Seahawks on Sunday. Seattle is a 10-point favorite on BETDAQ. 45 is the total in this game. This is a big game for both teams. Seattle can lock up the number one seed in the NFC and home field advantage throughout the playoffs with a win here. Arizona, meanwhile, they need to win badly. They're still alive in the NFC playoff race, but it's going to be tough for them. They need to beat Seattle this week, San Francisco next week, and they need a couple other things to happen. Most notably, it would help them out if the New Orleans Saints beat the Carolina Panthers this weekend. The Cardinals need the Saints to win the NFC South. They do hold the tiebreaker over the Panthers. That is not the case with the Saints. So if they finish with the same record as Carolina and Carolina does not win the South, then Arizona would get into the playoffs. But first things first, they're going to need to beat Seattle on the road this weekend, and that's not going to be easy. The Seahawks, the best team in the NFL this season, 12-2. They have the best defense in the league. They rank first in yards allowed, points allowed, passing defense. Their offense ranks fifth in points scored. There's just not a weakness here. They also beat Arizona 58-0 last December, the last time the Cardinals came up to Seattle. Now, I know both these teams are different, especially the Cardinals. Cardinals are much different than they were last year. And I've heard a lot of people use that result sort of like it'd be an advantage for the Cardinals in this situation, saying, well, Arizona's going to have revenge on their side after losing 58-0 there. Well, if that was the case, seems like Arizona, they would have wanted their revenge in Week 7 of this season when these two teams played in Arizona and Seattle won 34-22 in a game that was never really competitive. The Seahawks never trailed. So I just don't really think there's much to that. I think Seattle is clearly better than Arizona. However, I've continually underestimated the Cardinals this season. They've surprised me on a weekly basis, and I've come to really respect this team, especially their defense. Now, the offense has been playing well, too. They've scored 27 or more in 5 of their last 6 games, but this Arizona defense is excellent. 7th in the NFL in total defense. They're especially good against the run. They lead the league in rushing defense. And we all know Seattle, their offense is built around the power running game. So this seems like a good matchup for the Arizona defense. It's going to be tough sledding for Seattle running the ball against this Arizona front 7. We know Russell Wilson can do it, but the Seahawks do rank 24th in passing offense. And if you had to pick out one weakness on this team, even though you'd look long and hard, you'd probably say the wide receiver position. As it stands right now, not great in terms of the wide receiver position. But again, you're really stretching here when you talk about weaknesses with this Seattle Seahawks team. Again, they are the best team in the NFL right now. And look, because of Arizona's defense, because the Cardinals have surprised me over the last few weeks, because this is a 10-point number and Arizona needs the game badly, I would like to bet on the Cardinals here. And when this line was released early in the week, I had an Arizona lean, but you know what? I just can't do it. They're a little banged up. They're definitely banged up in the secondary. Safety Tyrann Mathieu out for the remainder of the season. Safety Rashad Johnson doubtful for this game. But their two most important offensive players, Carson Palmer and Larry Fitzgerald, both listed as questionable here. Fitzgerald suffered a concussion last week. Palmer listed as questionable for the second straight week with a different injury. Last week it was an elbow injury. This week an ankle injury. So the Cardinals just a little bit banged up going on the road to play this great Seahawks team. Can't get behind them even though they are a double-digit dog. I do lean towards Seattle -10 here. Even though this is not one of my favorite bets of the week, I will not be including it among my best bets.